Did Quinn Ewers make a mistake declaring for the NFL draft and eventually being taken in the 7th round by the Miami Dolphins instead of potentially transferring somewhere else to continue his college football playing career? This is the show. I am Josh Blinder. Thank you so much for tuning in and following along with me. We break down college football, NFL football, and it is so much fun to make these videos. In this video, we are going over, like I just talked about, Quinn Ewers. Did he make a mistake? So getting into this, we know about the quarterbacks that played in the college football playoff. There were a number of them that got drafted. None of them were as rated as highly as Quinn Ewers out of high school. Frankly, no one has. He was touted as the perfect prospect, a 1,000 by 24/7 Sports. Riley Leonard ends up getting drafted by the Colts in the 6th round. Dillon Gabriel goes in the 3rd round to the Cleveland Browns. Will Howard, the national champion quarterback who beat Leonard, he ends up getting picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 6th round, and yet the guy that was the better prospect and recruit than all of them, he ends up getting picked in the 7th round by the Miami Dolphins. Now, we know that the traits with Leonard and Howard, right, you have the athleticism from both of those guys. Both of them are 6'4", 225 pounds plus. Not necessarily the biggest arm on any of these 4 players, but those were transfers. Will Howard transferred away from Kansas State to take a chance with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Riley Leonard leaves Duke and goes to Notre Dame, and that ends up working out for him. Dillon Gabriel ends up being a Heisman finalist after he leaves Oklahoma and goes to play for the best team in the country, in the regular season that is, with the Oregon Ducks. And with Quinn Ewers, the past 2 years, he was the starter. There was a bit of pressure with a guy waiting in the wings with the last name of Manning right behind him. So after that season finished up, there was the question, is Quinn Ewers going to try and eke it out? Is he going to try and play another year with Texas? Well, Arch is going to be the starter next year. You pretty much know that with the reps he'd been getting and his development process and him getting better. Would he go transfer and play somewhere else? Well, look at Miami and what they did with Carson Beck's going to be earning $4+ million. If we fast forward to right now and what Quinn Ewers is going to be making, it's less than $1 million for him each season under contract. And Beck left Georgia, a team where he had just lost, right? They had lost in the quarterfinal game to Notre Dame. He had hurt his shoulder previously in the SEC championship game. Think about Cam Ward ends up being with Washington State, transfers to Miami like Carson Beck, and he goes from maybe a 2nd, 3rd round pick, maybe even a day 3 type of guy, to being the number 1 overall pick in the draft. After he bets on himself, goes to transfer and plays college football somewhere else. Cam Ward earned tens of millions of dollars with that decision, deciding to leave the Cougars with the Pac-12 conference disbanding and going to play at Miami. He ends up making what will probably be the best decision that he ever made in his entire life, and certainly for his bank account. We know exactly, as I just talked about, the guys that transferred schools, Leonard transferring, Howard transferring, Gabriel transferring. It all got them drafted and all got them deep runs in the college football playoff that ended up working pretty well for them. Now, I bet you're formulating in your head, well, this guy is definitely making this out to say that Quinn Ewers did not make the right decision deciding to declare for the NFL draft. Well, for most people saying that, and the way that this video has gone, you would probably be right. I have thought about it extensively. I've also looked at the NFL draft and seen what has come. Ewers went to Miami. Leonard goes to the Colts. Howard goes to Pittsburgh. And we also saw Dillon Gabriel go to Cleveland. We have to take into consideration those teams and those fits and where they are going to be. Let's break it all down, and then I will give you my true, honest answer. Dillon Gabriel is in an all-out war for the starting quarterback position. That thing is not secure remotely or even close to being secure in the slightest, with Shedeur Sanders and him going at it for who is going to be the starting quarterback. So that position is not whatsoever secure. Riley Leonard could have an incredible offseason, outcompete, outplay Anthony Richardson. But if Anthony Richardson is healthy, he's the starter. When you invest a pick that highly on a quarterback, he's going to have another chance to prove himself and play that next year. Will Howard is a bit of an interesting one with Pittsburgh because we still have to await, as of the recording of this video, the Steelers have not gone a different direction with quarterback and brought in Aaron Rodgers, which is supposed to be the next guy with the baton of being the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. So we will have to wait and see. But Quinn Ewers with the Miami Dolphins, he's behind Tua Tagovailoa. Start to think about some similarities. Not the biggest guys in the world, not the most athletic, not the biggest of arm. But Tua has that injury concern history. He has that past of not being able to play full seasons. The offensive game plan, it's all there to create success for a quarterback with easy completions, with all that speed, the weapons that the Dolphins have. But is Tua going to be able to play a whole season? The entire year, Quinn Ewers is going to be, and we don't want this to happen, but one snap away from being the starting quarterback of a high-flying offense, which will make him look a lot better. Think of Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. Is Brock Purdy that much more talented than Quinn Ewers? The last pick in the NFL draft, see the similarities between them? Purdy, Quinn Ewers taken late in the 7th round, comparably similar body types, similar arm talent, similar athleticism. I'm not saying that Quinn Ewers is Tom Brady, but if we're talking about what is realistic in playing meaningful football this season and getting better and having the chance for a successful career, well, Quinn Ewers has as good a chance as any of these guys that were taken in the draft to have a successful NFL career, and I mean that including quarterback Cam Ward and Tyler Shuck, who were drafted in the 1st and 2nd round. I am serious because the pieces with Tennessee together, do you really trust them being able to have that all together? Do you trust New Orleans Saints to be able to have Tyler Shuck produce? And he's, 26, going to be 27 years old pretty soon here? So no, I think that Quinn Ewers absolutely actually made the right decision as of right now, because how often in our world today do we have guys that remain loyal to their team, to the place that they love, they grew up around, and that they just thought that maybe one day I could get there and play that. That is exactly what Quinn did growing up. He wanted to play at the University of Texas. He didn't want to have to go and transfer somewhere else, have to play for another school, just chasing a couple of $1 million, thinking about bigger than that. When you make those types of decisions and go just based out of love, and he's going to end up being a legend forever with that Texas program, it is incredibly refreshing. And yes, that's right, he will be a legend with the Texas program. And he bet on himself that he would get drafted. He ended up getting drafted, found a very good spot to do it. And you can respect the heck out of Quinn for making that choice when he could have easily gotten $5 million and be the number 1 player in the entire transfer portal. So I am rooting for Quinn and rooting for him because of that decision and him standing by it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a blast making it, talking about Quinn, a guy that you've obviously seen me follow the last couple of years, and the Texas program being thrust right back into relevancy in the scope of college football. So hope that you jot some comments down. Let me know what you think about Quinn. Did he make the right decision? Am I completely wrong? Should he have just taken that bag of money and then tried to improve his draft stock? Or do you agree? Do you think I'm right that he actually did make the right choice going to the NFL, and it is going to work out better for him? Appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.